Wcxo, Carlisle.
This broadcast is a presentation of Wcxo Sports. Wcxo Sports. Since 1999, the sports voice of the Carlisle Indians, the Central Cougars, the Mater Dei Knights, and the Westland Warriors presents Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7. Talkin' Sports is powered by Hoffman Supermarket, the only choice for quality meats and friendly service. Talkin' Sports is brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College. The future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. Diane Chevrolet in Trenton. McKendree University in Lebanon. Ideal Home Solutions in Trenton. Farmers State Bank Insurance Department in Hoffman. Seaver Brothers in Carlisle. And by Becker Jewelers, with locations in Breeze and Highland, and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Here's the host of Talkin' Sports, Rip Nottmeyer.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Talkin' Sports. Rip here in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio on this Wednesday. Hey, windy, but at least it's dry. Coming up this evening, we're going to talk pucks with an NHL blogger, Lance Dascott. He's been with us before, and he knows hockey. And later on, I saw for Mater Dei Lady Night softball coach Mike Palm. They were in quite a tangle with the Central Cougars this afternoon, and we'll flash all the news about that. Plus, as always, on Wednesday, we have the Easy on Travel Sports Flashback tonight. It features high school basketball's John Krause. But right now, it's time for Scores and Stuff, brought to you by Isaac Auto Body right here in Carlisle. Be sure and see them for 24-hour towing and collision repair. The Cardinals got the Cubs, day off. They're everywhere. Today's game between the Cardinals and Cubbies was called off because of wintry weather, making it the 25th postponement in the first 3 weeks of the Major League season. That total matches 2007 for the most weather-related postponements through April. MLB has kept records on that since 1986. There were 26 postponements through April in 2007. One in response to the death of St. Louis pitcher Josh Hancock. Man, do I remember that well for a couple of reasons. Temps were in the mid-30s, rain and snow. Did that all occur? Did it keep up? Because, again, it was called 4.5 hours before. Either which way, it's off. And tomorrow it's going to be Lester and Luke Weaver as they try and salvage, finally, 2 games of the 3. Man, the Cubbies are really... After that, the Redbirds welcome with open arms the Cincinnati Redlegs for a 3-game stint, and that begins Friday night. The pitiful Reds. Last night, the Cardinals did lug a 5-3 win over the Cubbies at Wrigley. Adam Wainwright went through 5, did pretty well, 4 walks and, a lot of pitches. Well, of course, it only took 5 hurlers after that to complete the game. Matt, 5 or 6, that's the norm. It's crazy. Matt Carpenter opened the Redbirds scoring with the first of his 3 RBIs, and Paul DeYoung had a big solo blast in the 8th. Struck out a lot, 4, but he did hit a dinger. Anthony Rizzo, Holland, I'm going to skip past that. Anthony Rizzo, yes, he did play. Actually, he just came off the DL, the 10-day DL. They need to get that back up to 15. A lot of hanky-panky going on. But Rizzo, he's been advocating just lately on Radio Chicago for a shorter season, maybe a smaller page, all this stuff. It's not going to happen anyway, right? So outfielder Tyler O'Neill, he is going to be rewarded by the Albertos. He's off to a hot start down in Memphis, and he's up with the Major League club now. He's considered to be the Cardinals' number 4 prospect. He is in Chi-Town. He will be on the Major League roster for tomorrow's game, and it's just a matter of what happens with that corresponding move because somebody has to go. It could be Pham. He a little nagging injury last night, it looked like, but more than likely a reliever. More than likely, they should send down about 2 relievers. They have enough pitchers, I would think. In daylight action, this afternoon, Pittsburgh crowned Colorado 10-2. Chad Kuhl won again. He efforted 4-hit ball over 6. It was Milwaukee 2, and the Reds zip. Thames belted a 2-run dinger for that victory. Over in the American League, Tampa Bay doubled Texas 4-2. 4 pitchers combined for a 6-hitter. It was Detroit. They nipped Baltimore 6-5. Dixon Machado hit a walk-off. And 2 games still going on, man. Toronto leads the Royals 11-5. They're on the bottom of the 8th. And it's the White Sox, the Chi Sox, by a couple over Oakland, 10-8 in the 7th inning. Those American League games, they travel on and on and on, and a lot of offense in those two. Pittsburgh right now with 12 wins. Who'da? And I doubt. I like the Pirates. That's fine, but I don't think that's gonna keep up. No. And the Reds 3-15. They are the worst team in baseball. The Metropolitans in Arizona have also dug up 12 wins in the National League. Over in the American League, the Red Sox have the best record period at 14-2. The Angels, those Halos just behind at 13-4. Toronto playing well so far. Not too many people gave them a shot. We've only got 5+ months to go. Speaking of the Anaheim Angels, or actually the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim officially. Dumb. Anyway, Shohei Ohtani. He was removed after a couple of innings with a blister on his right middle finger last night, and it was a bad outing period against those Bo Sox. He's been a sensation, but not last evening. He popped the mound after 66 frames. He gave up 3 runs on 4 hits, including one of Mookie Betts' Club 3 home runs. But he's going to come back, right? Let's hope so. I mean, he's been a pleasure to watch. Meanwhile, Giancarlo Stanton just keeps on digging a bigger hole. He struck out 2 more times last night and grounded into a double play in an 0-for-4 outing and a loss on top of that to the Miami Marlins. The boos were heavier than ever. Stanton is now 3 for 35 with 20 Ks at Yankee Stadium this season. Somebody's going to pay the price one of these days when he busts out of it. I still can't get over that Bryce Harper home run the other night. There have been a few broken bat home runs over the last 3-4 years in particular. You would never, ever see it before then. Maybe a scattered every decade. No, not even that. And Harper, he hit one 406 feet with just a part of the handle in his hand. That was it. The barrel, it helicoptered back of home plate against the netting, actually. I guess down the first base side a little bit, but what's going on here? What in the... Jose Bautista, Joey Bats, has found a home, finally. He's joined the Braves, and they plan to use a veteran slugger at third base. Yeah, we're at that hot corner. It's a minor league deal, and he'll receive $1 million for a year contract if he's added to the 40-man. Well, that's going to happen, I'm sure. He's a 6-time All-Star. He'll go to the Braves' extended spring training, and the Braves will take it from there. He's now 37. He spent the last 10 years with Toronto. A lot of offense from his bats, Joey Bats, and he was with Pittsburgh before that. He played a little third base over there, quite a bit early on in his career. Actually, Ryan Flaherty's at third base now. His career to this point hasn't been too salty, but as of now, he's hitting .354 to lead the National League. Hey, just an update on the Locos. Both pitchers, of course. Trevor Richards of the Marlins. He'll get the call again Friday at Milwaukee. I'm sure we're going to have some faithful around here up at Milwaukee's Dome for that baby. He's now 0-1 with a .470 earned run average. That really took a dip after his great outing Saturday, 7 innings and 2 hits. And Highlands' Jake Odorizzi got shellacked last night against the Indians, 6 hits, 4 runs in 5+ innings. But overall, he's had a good start with his new team, the Minnesota Twins. He's even at 1-1, and his earned run average is at a scant .338. He's got a homecoming Sunday at Tampa Bay. Over we go to the National Hockey League. We'll expand on all this later on, of course. But last night, 3 games were played. The Vegas Golden Knights, they're really an expansion team, huh? They swept the Kings 1-0. They had 4 one-goal wins, 4 in a row. Unbelievable. So they're off to the next round. Also last night, it was the Caps over the Blue Jackets 3-2 in twin overtimes, and the Jets win again. They beat the Wild 2-zip. The Jets have a 3-1 lead over Minnesota, and the Blue Jackets are still up 2-1 on the Washington Capitals. Another coach has been fired. The Flames have sent head coach Glenn Gulutzan packing, so he's the second to be fired, and Hitch has retired. It's that time of year. To the National Basketball Association, we roll. The Pelicans of New Orleans beat Portland 111-102. This is all from last night. It was the Raptors pounding the Wizards 130-119. And the Celtics dealt the Milwaukee Bucks another loss, 120-106 the final. And I suppose by now, I would think the Bucks, Eric Bledsoe, well, surely now he knows who the Celtics, Terry Rozier is. 23 points, and 8 assists last night. All of those winners from last night. The Pelicans, Toronto, and Boston each has 2-0 leads in their respective series. Dirk Nowitzki is going to, well, the whole team is. The Mavs and Dirk, they're going to China for preseason games next year. And I don't mind the preseason stuff. You know, the regular season, like it's happening now in baseball at Puerto Rico, don't need that. We don't need that stuff. The G League, I'd sign $7,000 a month, $35,000 for the 5-month 2018-19 campaign. They've upped that beef a little bit and might come into play. I'm for anything anyway that has an opportunity to get rid of that one and done. Nebraska coach Tim Miles has received a 1-year contract extension. That team it's on the up, man. At 22 overall wins this past season, 13 in the Big Ten. Miles' contract now runs through the 2020-21 season. He's an even 500 at 97-97 with one NCAA tournament appearance in 6 years. Has Illinois landed Bryce Golden yet? Does anybody? No. Has anybody? And this still makes me, and also it angers me, again, the one and done. But, yeah, we talked about it Monday night, but Duke has lost their entire starting lineup to the NBA. That happened when Wendell Carter Jr. announced that he is he's going to play for pay. 4 freshmen, just 1 senior in this 5-person lineup I'm talking about there, Grayson Allen. Otherwise, the rest all rookies. They are off for a professional hoops. Finally, Patriots quarterback Tom Brady hasn't committed to playing. I'll stop with it. I'm going to do a sports clip on this, rip sports clip on this tomorrow morning after the 8 o'clock, 12 noon. I think it's on it scattered other times now too, but Brady will be back, and Gronk will be back, who just bought a part of that horse named Gronk for the Kentucky Derby. I'd like to be in that suite. Would that be fun or what? That is Scores and Stuff, brought to you by Isaac Auto Body in Carlisle. Do yourself a favor. If you need them, see them for 24-hour towing and collision repair. Again, what's ahead? We've got Lance Dascott on hockey and Mike Palm on high school softball. We'll also toss in the sports flashback. It's another good one. Stay with us here on Talking Sports for it's the midweek edition. Farmers State Bank is dedicated to the communities they serve. They've been making home loans for over 100 years. They are and will continue to be a strong, steady, common-sense leader that's always focused on what's best for you and the community. And remember, Farmers State Bank has loan professionals standing by to assist you in making the right decision for your needs. That's Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. An equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 404955. Need insurance? Insurance you can really count on? If so, turn to Dan Imming at Imming Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Dan and his staff will provide you with the insurance coverage and service you deserve. Whether it's auto, home, life, health, or commercial, your choices aren't limited either. Imming Insurance Agency represents many outstanding companies, so get covered by the best. Call Imming Insurance Agency at 594-4536 or stop by 589 9th Street in Carlisle. Imming Insurance Agency, a proud supporter of Clinton County sports. Drive into spring with this awesome look from Munkin Nissan in Centralia. It's a 2018 Nissan Rogue SV JC705838 for a mere $314.02 lease payment over 36 months. The MSRP is $29,145. To learn more, visit their website at munkinnissan.com.
From our family to yours, with guaranteed satisfaction. Munkin's the one. Munkin's the one.
Southern Bus and Mobility is your Bronability dealer in Breeze. Southern Bus and Mobility stocks the most popular wheelchair-accessible vans from Bronability, including lowered-floor minivans with side or rear entry ramps. In addition to personal wheelchair vans, Southern Bus and Mobility has a huge line of commercial buses, school buses, and mobility products to buy or rent. They also sell and can install wheelchair scooter lifts, hand controls, and special turning seats. Call 526-4131. Stop by east of Breeze on Old Route 50 or southernbusandmobility.com.
Welcome to our music warehouse. Lucky you're not the one who has to refile all these CDs. Playing everything.
You've got Max 96.7.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back as we pack away a couple of good guests. Again, coming up, Mike Palm. And right now, some scores and stuff is in the bag. We head over to Edwardsville on the Tucker Electric guest line. He's back with us, an NHL blogger, podcast man, all of that. He is Lance Dascott. Lance, welcome back to Talking Sports here in Carlisle.
It's great to be back, Rip. How have you been?
Pretty good. You doing okay, man? We got to get to that bad stuff first, the St. Louis Blues, and then we'll find our way to other hockey matters. But let's see, what's it been? Maybe about 10, 11 days ago now, and the playoff, those hopes flew out the window with that regulation loss at Colorado.
Yeah, and it's kind of the way the season went for the Blues. You kind of figured towards the end something like that might happen. They lost to the Coyotes 6-0 on a Saturday, lost to the Capitals 4-2 on a Monday, and then they lost to the Blackhawks 4-3 with just a few seconds left that Wednesday night, which was a killer.
8.5 seconds left, huh?
Yeah, and if they just would have gotten 1 point,
just one,
out of those 3 games due to their season record against Colorado, they would have been in the playoffs. However, I don't think they could have beaten the first round team.
I doubt it.
They just weren't playing well enough.
The Preds are really, really good. But yeah, so you just 2 or 3 weeks before the what turned out to be the final game of the entire year over there in Colorado. A few of us said, man, it's going to come down. You just know it's going to come down to that last game, and just it's easier said than done, I know. But a regulation tie, the only tie you can get, that would have propelled the note to the Stanley Cup playoffs. And I know the fate probably would have been sealed quickly, but you never know, do you? And but they had all kinds of opportunities ahead of that.
They had all kind of opportunities, and like I said, you can look at that 3-game losing streak towards the end where they just didn't play well at all. They had the opportunities where they had that 7-game losing streak. If they just would have won one of those games or tied one of those games, we may be talking about a Blues playoff series right now. And you just kind of felt it the way that you and I talked last time. I thought they would come out and play better after that week-long break that they had. You know, you and I didn't agree that teams need that, but they just didn't come out and play great overall. They had spurts, but too much inconsistency, too many of their so-called good players not playing up to their contracts. And I know a lot of people like to blame Jake Allen for this, but this is not Jake Allen's fault. This is the team's fault.
I never went back, but I think they were off to a 13-3-1 start. Does that sound about right?
I think it was 13-3-1 or 14-3-1.
Right,
yes.
right. And then, right around mid-December, I did make a note of this, December 10th to be exact. Their record was 21-8-2, and they had 44 points. They were deadlocked with Tampa Bay for the best record in all of hockey, and it just, proves again there is no such thing as a shoo-in, but it looked really good at that point.
Yeah, and, one thing that was helping them, everything was clicking. They weren't making a lot of mistakes, and I said at the beginning of the season on my podcast that this team is built to where if they don't make mistakes and play their game, sound defensively, keep their legs moving, which they have a problem doing sometimes, that they could win a lot of games and beat any team in the NHL. But as we've seen after that great start, a lot of defensive breakdowns periodically. The goalies would let them down. Not enough scoring. This team definitely needs more scoring.
Yeah, they wasted a terrific start to the season, but that's what you got to play all 82, man. And back to that game one more time. See what our views is on this. But what about, and it was a botched replay review. I happen to absolutely hate replay reviews in every sport. But did that cost them that point, or was that just another moment in the game? From your angle?
I think it cost them, and clearly, and I try to be unbiased when it goes against the Blues. I say, hey, that was a good play. It was onside. It was a good goal. If it's for him, I give you my honest opinion, and my honest opinion on that rip was that was a good goal. It was so close. Half a part of me says, maybe, but the way the NHL looks at it, there has to be foolproof proof that it was offsides or wasn't offsides. And when you can't look at it and say that it was definitely or wasn't definitely, they can't change the call on the ice. And I think that's where they were at. They were looking at going, yeah, it could be, but I don't know. And they gave them the goal. It had something to do with the game. Neither team in my mind played well, but the Blues hung in there regardless of how they played. It was 2-1 at that time when that goal went through and made it 3-1, but the Blues only scored one more goal. So did it matter? In my mind, no, not really.
And I'm probably the only person still. I haven't found anyone else. I'm more upset, and I get it. It happens. He's trying to make a play, but Vince Dunn made the dumbest. Is he a Grayson Allen fan? That was an absolutely stupid tripping penalty deep in his own zone. That's what led to that goal. We can't always blame the officiating and the replay junk.
That's exactly right. Yeah, you have to take responsibility for it. And I love Vince Dunn. Yeah. He's got a great future. I think he's one of the best defensive passers I've seen in a long time. Can make that two-line pass, puts it right on the stick. But he's a rookie, and he's going to make rookie mistakes.
Definitely.
And I guess in his mind, he thought he had to try to do something, and I think he could have been a little bit different and tried to take the body more. I know he was a little out of position. But you can't do that in a game like this. And I know people saying, well, the ref shouldn't have called it. It's too tight. You have to call the obvious stuff, and that was an obvious penalty.
I guess I'm probably easier on the officials, umpires, than most people are, really. I mean, that's a real tough job in hockey, that's for sure. And again, that's not taking away from Vince Dunn and his future and everything else. But I mean, I thought it was just a dumb play, and that's what led to it all. And there was more than half the game left after that.
Yeah, they had plenty of chances, and they had some good scoring opportunities. But the Avalanche were just playing a little bit better. And getting back to that thing about the referees and the offside challenge. I think the offside challenge needs to go. I understand it with goals and goalie interference, but they opened up a can of worms with that offside challenge. I mean, the way the rule is, the skate has to be down on the ice. If it's not down on the ice and it's hanging over the blue line, it's this. If it's down on the ice, it's this. It leads too much into interpretation.
Too complicated. They make it so difficult, and it's just crazy. What else went wrong for the power play was a big deal when you look throughout the year, right, Lance? I mean, I saw a stat the other day where they were 30th in the league, weren't they? Only one team below them.
Yeah, last time I checked, they were around 15%, which is dismal. And I said at the beginning of the year, even when they were playing well, and like you said, they were 21-8-3 or whatever. I told people, I said, if this power play doesn't get better, and it was better then than it got to be, they won't make the playoffs. And people kind of hem and hawed with me and argued with me, because you cannot go into a postseason with a bad power play, because the teams that are successful, Rip, and you've seen it, I mean, you've watched hockey for years, they may not be the best at the power play, but you've got to have one in the top 15 to 18, 20 power plays to be successful. Has it happened to where teams have won Stanley Cups with not so great power plays? Yes, but it doesn't happen very often, and those teams normally can score a lot and make up for those mistakes. And like I said earlier, the Blues just can't make up for those mistakes. And when you can't score on the power play, you got all these games where you're losing 2-1, 1-0, 3-2, and it just doesn't help you at all. 8
of the top 10 teams in power play efficiency made the playoffs. There was only one in the bottom 10 that qualified. That was the Columbus Blue Jackets. So yes,
the Blue Jackets.
The goaltending, Jake Allen and Carter Hutton. I guess overall, it turned out all right, just stats wise. But yeah, and Allen took a lot of heat. Of course, he's supposed to be that number one now. They gifted that to him, I guess, 2 years ago.
Yeah, they did, and a lot of people are hard on him. I'm hard on him when he deserves it. But if you look back after that Jaden Schwartz injury against Detroit, where they scored 6 goals in that game, and Jaden left on December 9th, their scoring went way down after that, way down. Jake Allen had a 2.74 goals against, which isn't great. You know, it's not great. It's average at best.
Right.
His pay is the 20th in the league at $4.3 million, but his stats are around the 26th of the league, so he's not far off what he's paid. But what gets me is when people, you know, the Blues would score 2 goals, and Jake would lose 4-2, or they'd score 1 goal and lose 4-1, and everybody would blame Jake. Well, that's fine and dandy. Maybe he should have stopped those, you know, 2 or 3 of those goals, but still, you would have lost 2-1. There's not enough offense.
Always that whipping boy, right, Lance?
I mean, you and I have watched Blues hockey for years, Rip, and it seems like it either comes down to where the Blues blame the goaltender for everything. They blamed Yaroslav Halak. They blamed Curtis Joseph when he didn't play well. They blamed Mike Liut when he didn't play well. You know, they blamed everybody when it comes to a goalie, and I'm not saying Jake's not at fault. Well, what concerns me, and I don't know if you were going to get into this, is a lot of people are trying to anoint Carter Hutton as the number 1, and they should trade Jake and make Carter Hutton the number 1. I think Carter's great as a backup for 25 to 35 games a year.
I think he's skipping
awesome.
town.
Yeah, and I think somebody's going to pay him, probably give him $3.5 million for 2 years. I think if he wants 4 to get kind of starter money, he's going to have to take a 1-year contract. But I think he's gone, and I think the Blues are just going to have to deal with Jake Allen because, hey, if you allow 2.7 goals a game, but your team scores 2.9 goals a game, what does that do? Now all of a sudden your goalie's keeping you in games. The Blues need more scoring. They need to get rid of some of these heavy contracts with these players that Armstrong signed, such as Sobotka, Steen, and Sobotka, Steen, and Berglund. I know Berglund played well at the end of the year, but I would really like to see those 3 guys gone, but I don't think they'll do it.
And Carter, of course, will find out that he might get some nice money or a big bump, and it's always different when you're that top dog, though, isn't it? It's a lot easier to be that backup and just come through now and then, and he didn't play that many games. He was good, though, when he played, almost all the time.
Yeah, he was really good, and when he played, I noticed the Blues tended to play a different defensive style.
It's weird.
More of a lockdown style. 1 shot and done. Yeah, there was times where he had to make 2 or 3 saves, but I went back and watched a lot of the season, and there were a lot of times Jake Allen was making 3-4 saves, and then the 3rd or 4th goal shot would go in. And Carter Hutton, yeah, he had to do that, but not on a consistent basis. The grass isn't always greener when you go somewhere else, even if it's for more money. And I do wish him the best if he goes somewhere else. But you know, hey, if he's another guy and he has that 2.09 goals against, I think he finished with, and a save percentage of 9.31, he'll be successful. But I just haven't seen him. I haven't seen him do it. He's 32, 33 years old, and there's very few goalies that wait that long to become, number 1 starters that do well.
You're right on all counts. Puckhead Lance Dascott is with us, and Vlad's season, of course, he wouldn't have been with him for the series or a couple of whatever it takes after that reconstructive shoulder surgery. What about his surgery? What about his year in total? 33 goals, I believe, and around 70 points.
Yeah, I don't think it was a bad year. He played 80 games, had 66 points, 33 goals, 33 assists. Yeah, he missed 2 games. The only thing I don't like about Vlad, and it may have been because of the injury, towards the end, last 20 games, there was a few games where it just didn't look like he was out there trying every play. Now, like I said, it may have been because he was tired and worn out for the season. People don't realize. People think, a scorer can skate around and not get hit. He gets pummeled a lot of games. He takes a lot of hits, and he's 6'2", 6'3", and 220, 230 pounds, but you're still taking hits all throughout the game. I don't blame him for the Blues' lack of success. He did what he needed to do, 33 goals. I'm not disappointed at all in Vladimir Tarasenko.
Yeah, 66 assists, right? Somewhere the other day I saw 70. I didn't think that was correct. Braden Shen, he was pretty much, I think, everybody's favorite, wasn't he? He made a nice first impression with the St. Louis fans.
Well, it was kind of funny. He got the first goal of the year, Rip, and he got the last goal of the year.
How about that? Yeah, he had 28 total, so yeah, and a lot of power play goals. He's one who, I mean, pretty 8 on that. Again, they were way shy, but
yeah, and he had some power play goals, but the bulk of his scoring was full strength. And when he came to the Blues, a lot of the Flyers fans were saying, yeah, he'll be good on the power play, but he won't score. And they were thinking the Blues got ripped off with it. But you've got to ask yourself this question: who would have filled his spot if the Blues wouldn't have traded for him and given up that first-round pick and a Laterra? Who would have, with those first-round picks and a Laterra, who would have taken that spot? There's nobody there that would have taken it. The Blues wouldn't have been in it for the last month of the season.
I know, you're right. So 109 points last season, first in the Central, correct? And, of course, an early exit. And then Mike Yeo, and I know Hitch, I always liked Hitch, but so is Mike Yeo. Is he still the savior? I mean, it changes in a hurry, doesn't it?
I've never thought he was the savior. I thought he could be a decent coach if he made some adjustments from when he came from the Wild. But
and he did good in Minnesota, don't you think? I mean, they kicked him out of town, but
yeah, I would say that he did pretty well. I mean, great one year when they beat the Blackhawks, or when they beat the Blues in that first round. I think he did very well. And Doug Armstrong is quoted as saying that's one reason why he hired him. It's because he beat the Blues in the first round, which is kind of strange to me.
Let's get him.
But I try to look at it with a half glass full and a half glass empty kind of a thing. But I don't see him taking the Blues to the promised land. He doesn't like playing young players. He was forced to play Vince Dunn, and the Blues have all these young guys that want to come up: Kyrou, Thomas, Costin. Then they signed that Eric Foley, the guy they got in that trade for Stasny. I don't see him playing these young guys. I just don't see it unless they have to. And it's that whole thing, Rip. When you continue to do the same thing and get bad results, and you want to continue to do that,
insanity.
You're not going to get the same result. Yeah, it's insanity when you do that. And there was a quote the other day, I don't know if you've seen it, where I think it was Doug Armstrong, either Doug Armstrong or Yeo said that Mike Yeo didn't have the ability to basically discipline the players. And I'm sitting there going, well, I don't understand why he didn't have that ability to really discipline the players. He's the coach.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I'm afraid, Rip, that we're going to see the same thing over the next 2 years. If you notice, after he left Minnesota, a lot of the guys that were there, Suter and a lot of them other veterans, as soon as he left, said it was like a breath of fresh air. The young guys got to play. They played better after that. They played better the next season. And, I've never met Mike Yeo personally. I've heard good things about him. I've heard bad things about him. If the Blues have the right players and they can play a system without mistakes, they can win. Can they win a Stanley Cup with Mike Yeo? I just don't know yet.
What about Doug Armstrong? All of a sudden, he's kind of on the hot seat, and it's another. Now, this year, coming up is the critical year. That Paul Stastny trade, was that a good idea? I know Shannon and a couple others were kind of upset about that. It was almost like, let's forget about this season.
I think that's what it was in a nutshell. And he said it wasn't at the time they made that trade, that it wasn't forget about this season. Yeah, but I think it was. I think he proved that he wasn't going to make a move. A lot of people wanted Evander Kane. And I think Evander Kane could have helped the Blues, but at what cost would they've had to have gotten to get him? He's been very successful with San Jose in the regular season and in the playoffs. But, I said at the beginning of the year, I don't mind a Doug Armstrong extension. Let's wait till the end of the year. Let's see what he does. Let's see how this trade for Braden Shen works out.
All that stuff is rushed, isn't it?
That's right.
In every sport, they get two when you're not even forced to do it.
No, you're not forced to do it. And I heard one of the comments from the Blues upper management, Mr. Stillman, say, well, he was afraid that Doug Armstrong would be gone at the end of the year and didn't want to hurt his feelings personally by not signing him. Well, the thing about it is this is a business.
Exactly.
It's just like Doug Armstrong and Ken Hitchcock were friends. This is a business. You have to run it like a business, and I know that Mr. Stillman and Doug Armstrong get along, but make him prove it, because I'm going to tell you right now, those other teams, based on what he's done with the Blues over all these years, they weren't going to rush to sign him. No. They would have had plenty of time to see what was going to happen. He's got to prove it this year. If he doesn't prove it this year, I think Armstrong and Coach Mike need to be gone. And I hate to say that, but I think both of them need to be gone. If they can't make the playoffs and win a series, They have to win a playoff series. Getting to the playoffs for this team, 51 years we've put up with this, and it's time to put up or shut up from some type of management for this team.
We've only got a minute or two, Lance, but the playoffs, of course, underway. Who are your picks for the Stanley Cup Finals? First off, and throw in what you want to about Vegas. Maybe that's one of your two picks.
That was my pick from the beginning on my bracket challenge. I don't think Pittsburgh is as good as they've been, although they've looked pretty good against Philly. But Philly's made a lot of mistakes in that series and a lot of bad penalties. It's 2-1 now in that series. I'm impressed with Boston in the East. David Pastrnak, I think, has been the best player overall. I'm impressed with the Vegas Golden Knights. I picked them to go to the Stanley Cup.
Sweet.
Theo Fleury, Fleury's been playing. Marc-Andre Fleury's been playing so great. Their problem is, I think, if they continue not to score, regardless of how great he plays. I mean, dang, he's got a .977 save percentage. They've only scored 7 goals in 4 games.
7-3.
They only gave up 3 goals against the Kings.
4 one-goal games and a sweep by an expansion team. Just remarkable. I got and I've been wrong so often lately, but I've got the Preds over the Pens this time.
It could be. Could be that. I could see if the Predators made it against the Pens. I would not be shocked if they beat the Pens, because I think the Predators are a better team than the Penguins. But I see the Golden Knights and the Penguins or the Golden Knights in Boston making it to the finals.
Well, I'll be watching a little bit more as we go further down the playoff road here. I've just caught a little bit of the Preds and who else? Penguins, Flyers. Boy, that's been a blowout series. Actually, yeah, they're back at it tonight again. Another puck drop in Game 4. But anything else as we take off, Lance? We'll definitely get back to you sometime next season.
Yeah, another series to watch, I think, is the Capitals and Blue Jackets. 3 games that went into overtime.
Go Columbus!
Game with the double overtime.
I always enjoy seeing the Caps lose.
Yeah, and it's been a tough series. I think that series could be that way for the rest. It could go 6 games. It could go 7 games. It's just going to be one of those series.
Hey, where can we follow you or listen to you there, Lance?
Oh, great. Thanks for asking, Rip. You can find us on Twitter at @OfficialTheDrop. You can check out our website at droppodcast.com. I haven't done my season-ending podcast, which that'll be coming up. I've been waiting for some responses from the players and Armstrong, so on and so forth. So that'll be coming up next at droppodcast.com. And you can also email me at lanced@droppodcast.com.
Very, very good. Thanks for coming on again. You got some hockey knowledge, that's for sure.
Well, thanks, Rip. I appreciate it. And anytime I'm available for you guys.
All right. Have a good one.
Take it easy, Rip.
Lance Descott from Edwardsville, and he played a lot of hockey in his time, too. I believe he grew up out, I can't remember, out west somewhere? Anyway, he played a lot of hockey as a youth and through those teenage years and probably more. I don't have it all at the top of my head, but that was Lance. We've had scores of stuff, and the flashback is just around the corner.
Companies are hiring again. That's good news. Bad news, you don't have the skills they're looking for. Kaskaskia College can fix that. KC's welding technology program can set you up with the skills industries are looking for. More good news, classes are available at KC's Trenton Center or Crisp Technology Center. Call Sean Morris at 545-3406. The demand is there, the pay is there. Where are you? Kaskaskia College, your future starts here.
Insuring your home and auto with Pekin Insurance equals a sizable discount. Farmers State Bank Insurance Department may save you as much as 30% on homeowners premiums and up to 15% on auto premiums if you insure both with Pekin Insurance. Call Farmers State Bank Insurance Department at 495-2965 for details about multi-policy discounts and learn what beyond the expected coverage and savings are all about.
Not a deposit, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal government agency, not guaranteed by the bank, may go down in value.
Announcing a fantastic offer on Toyo tires available now at Best One Tire and Service. Get a $60 instant rebate when you purchase a set of 4 Open Country MT or Extensa Toyo tires. That's right, buy 4 Open Country MT or Extensa Toyo tires from Best One Tire and Service and receive a $60 instant rebate. Plus, purchase 4 Toyo tires by June 30th and get free player access to the CBS Sports Fantasy Commissioner Baseball League. A $180 value. Best One Tire and Service. 13912 Best One Drive in Breeze. Improve your vehicle's performance, extend its lifetime, and maintain resale value with the Spring Service Special from Best One Tire and Service. Just $49.95 gets you a full-service oil change, lubrication and filter, belts and hoses checked, battery and charging system checked, fluids checked and filled, new front wiper blades on most vehicles, a tread inspection, and tire rotation, all for only $49.95. Make sure your vehicle is ready for spring and summer with Best One Tire and Service, where the best costs less. 13912 Best One Drive in Breeze.
We tell you our music library contains an embarrassment of riches. Except nothing embarrasses us. Playing everything.
This is Max 96.7.
How'd you doing your taxes? Yeah, whatever. Okay, where we at? 6:40. Yes, 6:40 it is. That time drop is brought to you by Breeze Furniture, Jan's Uniforms, off for the flashback.
It's flashback.
Get ready to flash back with the Easy In Travel Sports Flashback. Escape to paradise with Easy In Travel in Breeze. Call 526-2201.
That money, of course, has already been blown. We are in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio coming up in a little bit, Mike Palm. But right now, hey, this is for March 12th of this year. It's Oakville Rockets basketball coach John Krause on the day after his team's Class 1A state championship victory.
Yeah, today was a rough day to go back to work. I'll tell you that. I'm sure the kids were even more exhausted than I was. But it's one of those things where we had a great parade, and it was unbelievable how many people showed up. We had to actually pull out the bleachers upstairs on one side to get everybody in. And, just a great reception, and it's always been that way here at Oakville. And we had an unbelievable crowd at the state tournament.
Yeah.
It was one of the best crowds that I've seen in the 20 years I've been going to the state tournament for a school to have at our size. I mean, we just had an unbelievable amount of people that showed up there and really made our kids feel good.
And you have those regular fans, and then you have those award-winning student section. They did it again. It's a dynasty.
Yeah, that's their second year in a row that they were able to win it, and it's just been it's almost like a fairy tale. If we had 2 seasons in a row where we've gone to the state tournament, our student section has won first place. I mean, you just can't make that stuff up, and it's just been an unbelievable run for our community and our school, and it was odd today because it was like you've had the last 2 to 3 weeks of so much excitement around the school, and today was just kind of dead. It was a dead day. It was just like, what's going on? There's nothing going on tonight, and so it was just a unique day today. But we'll get back to the normalcy, and softball, baseball start this week, so we'll get back to what's going on. So.
McKendree University is a great place to continue your sports career. It's also a great place to continue your education. McKendree offers a wide range of degrees, including master's degrees in business, nursing, education, and professional counseling. If you'd like, you can access McKendree's quality education through the flexibility of online degrees. To learn more about McKendree, log on to McKendreeOnline.com or call 1-800-BEARCAT. McKendree University is ready when you are.
Seaver Brothers has what you're looking for. Take a spin with Seaver Brothers and drive home in your new or pre-owned Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Dodge truck today. Let Seaver Brothers give you the car buying experience that no other dealership can offer. Seaver Brothers stands behind their products and also has an outstanding service department with qualified technicians to keep your vehicles running strong. Stop by Seaver Brothers, 811 Washington Street in Carlisle, or call 594-2624 for your next Seaver Brothers sales associate.
When it comes to life's little ailments and accidents, come on in to the nearest SSM Health Express Clinic. Just walk right into one of our convenient locations and get quick, quality medical care for non-life-threatening illnesses and injuries, including colds, flu, allergies, ear infections, rashes, sprains, plus minor cuts and burns. We also administer flu shots, screenings, and sports and workplace physicals. There are 2 SSM Health Express clinics in Southern Illinois, one in Centralia and one in Mount Vernon. Lab and x-ray services are available. Most insurance plans are accepted, and there's no appointment needed. To check in online or hold your spot at either location, visit ssmhealth.com/now.
I'd like to start a campaign to blow the buttons off people's radios. Is that realistic?
This is Max 96.7.
Hello, one and all. We're up here in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio. It is a Wednesday. Are you looking for a car, truck, SUV, even pre-owned? Your next pre-owned could be waiting for it, likely is. At Diane Chevrolet over in Trenton, and all pre-owned vehicles pass a thorough inspection. Most even come with Diane's exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty at no cost to you. No bucks, man. See your consultant for all the details. Salesman, saleswoman, Dwayne, Nikki, Dave, Nathan. You can call up 224-9200, 224-9200, or stop by in person. Of course, you also have that other option of shopping or scheduling service at DianeChevrolet.com. Diane Chevrolet, it is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Saturday morning, we've got more than likely St. Louis baseball writer and author. He is first rate, Rob Raines, and then we'll have a coach or two on with us as well. Let's see, we went to the ice, and we're going to go to the diamond after this with modern-day softball coach Mike Palm. Hang in there. Talking Sports is here on a Wednesday.
Planning a remodel or building a new home? Ideal Home Solutions in Trenton can get you started. Ideal Home Solutions has quartz, granite, solid surface, and laminate, with granite starting at just $49 per square foot. Ideal Home Solutions proudly sells Haas cabinets and specializes in custom showers, any size to fit your space. From tubs, whirlpools, vanity tops, windowsills, you're covered. Schedule a free in-home estimate today, 224-2500, or see their showroom at 102 West Broadway in Trenton.
Sound familiar? A flat tire in the middle of nowhere? Car keys locked in the car? Or a battery that needs a jump start? You're stranded on the side of the road and need emergency roadside assistance to get your car moving. Call Benoff Insurance in Breeze and Trenton about roadside rescue coverage from Beacon Insurance that's available to everyone who has a personal auto policy with Beacon Insurance. Roadside rescue will save your day with 24/7 roadside assistance at no extra cost to you if you have comprehensive coverage. Call Benoff Insurance, your Beacon Insurance agency, today at 526-4888.
This broadcast is a presentation of Wcxo Sports. Wcxo Sports is brought to you by the Benoff Insurance Agency in Breeze and Trenton, Breeze Dental Care, K&J Chevrolet, Reverman Chiropractic and Spinal Rehabilitation and Breeze Motor Sales, Southern Bus and Mobility, Kaskaskia College, the First National Bank of Carlisle, Reekman Brothers John Deere, St. Joseph Hospital Breeze, Med Plus Physical Medicine and Brett's Wildlife Lodge, State Farm Insurance Agent Steve Klosterman and Hardy's locations in Breeze and Carlisle, Breeze Family Vision, Tempo Bank, Country Financial Representatives Keith Wilkin and Teresa Richards, and Area CC Food Marts. WCXO Sports since 1999, the sports voice of the Carlisle Indians, the Central Cougars, the Modern Day Knights, the Westland Warriors, and now the Christ Our Rock Silver Stallions.
Flying in the face of conventional wisdom.
There's no rules and no laws and lots of litter.
Every day.
This is Max 96.7.
Welcome back, sports fans, for one more important block here. Rip here in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio. Off we shuffle on the Tucker Electric guest line for Modern Day Lady Knights softball coach Mike Palm. Mike, welcome back.
Thanks, Rip. Glad to be there.
Well, as I was following when I could on Matt Wilson's Twitter feed, it looked, sounds, whatever, that was quite a ball game, quite a tremendous contest at Breeze MD between your Lady Knights and the Central Cougars, and you inched out a 1-0 8-inning win. Is that pretty much it in a nutshell?
That's pretty well it. The wind had center stage in that one. It was just it was awful out there.
It's always something, isn't it? But at least it was dry. But yeah, it was quite windy. But a 1-0 victory in 8. Somebody by the name of Haley Palm spun a no-no.
Yeah, she kept us in it the whole way. She threw really well today, and just like I said, we talked about it before the game. It was just going to be, if we could keep the mistakes out of it, we knew the wind was going to come up and bite somebody, and we were lucky enough that it didn't get us, and we were left standing in the end. So we just kind of lucked out there a little bit.
Well, of course, the whole game winning 1-0, that's a close call in itself. But as far as the no-hitter goes, was there anything close there? A really good play, or maybe a break behind her or something like that?
Yeah, I tell you what, late in the 8th inning, they had a runner on, and we end up had a ball hit in the hole in between short and third, and our freshman shortstop, Lizzie Beckman, went down, got on a knee, and threw their player out from the hole, and his third out of the inning. It was huge. I mean, it kept us in, and we had 2 out. We had 2 outs, and we would have had another opportunity, but that was a huge play to get us a little bit of momentum, and we fortunate to take advantage.
But she made a pretty dazzling play. How many strikeouts for Haley?
Haley had 13 tonight.
13?
She was dealing it pretty well tonight. The wind is, sometimes your friend, and sometimes on the pitching side of it was our friend, and on the hitting side it was our worst enemy. So it's just how it is.
Well, she racked up a bunch then, and from the stats in front of me here, she's now better than 1K per inning on the season, if they're correct and up to date, and I know how that goes. But was Olivia Westman, was she on the mound for Central?
Oh yeah, lived through for them, and she does a great job for them too. She did really well and kept us. We had 4 hits. If you want to, score them, however you want to score them, it's tough to score. It's like the play that ended the game is a ball hit towards right center field, and it ended up blowing all the way back to the right field line.
That's
and,
tough.
And off the glove, and it was just fell our way. So could have went either way for sure.
So between the 2 clubs, of course, a no-hitter for Haley and just 4 total safeties, that was it. How about in the way of base runners through walks or an error, hit by pitch, something like that?
Well, I remember Liz hitting 1. Haley had 2 walks. There just wasn't a lot going on. The wind even just to hit a ball on the ground was difficult tonight. It just was tough out there.
And I saw Central play last night against Carlisle. Of course, the late Indians beat them the first time here 7-3, and last night it was Central 8-5, and it got close in the end on a Kylie Michael 2-run blast late. But Olivia was pitching then. I think they made a mistake or 2 last night, but they definitely cleaned everything up for tonight. So that's one whale of a high school softball game.
Yeah, it was. It was fun to be a part of, but it was kind of one of those games where it was getting to the point where either way it was going to go. I know that Central probably doesn't feel good. That's a tough way to lose that win and stuff, but it's somebody's going to win at the end, and I'm glad it was us.
Let's see. Do you face them again in regular season?
No, not regular season. If it would be regional or something, if we did.
And I'm jumping ahead. Is that 2A then for you guys, or 3?
Yep. We're 2A.
Okay, it is 2A.
Softball.
All that changes too much back and forth. I check it out at the end. You have to be aware, of course.
Right.
So now 6-3. Is that the record?
6-3. Last week we had a really a tough stretch, and we started out with 2 wins against Lebanon, and then Highland at home, our first home game on our field. We're playing all our ball games at school now, and that's a big deal for us. We really, really appreciate that, and getting the win against Highland was huge. That was the first time we beat them since this is my 4th year. We hadn't beat them in 4 years, so that was a great win. And then Wednesday we went to Belleville East. We lost 2-0 in a game that we, if we could have got a hit in that game, we probably win that game too. We got good pitching, and we just didn't hit the ball well enough. And then Thursday against Nashville was our 4th in a row that week, and we just ran out of gas a little bit on the mound, and it just kind of snowballed. We were a 5-4 game into the 5th inning, and then we fell apart. So we had 1 bad inning there, and I'm not going to be too disappointed with that. We may see Nashville again in the sectional. They're pretty strong.
Yeah, that's what I understand. And Belleville, so you were silenced completely by the Lancers? You did?
Yeah.
No hits
at all?
Yeah,
we lost 2-0. We ended up we had a lot more hits than they did. They had
okay.
Haley pitched in that game, and we end up she gave up one hit in 5 innings, and we were down 1-0. I kind of pulled her out, thinking for the next day, and then we had Maddie Streaker come in. She did a good job. She gave up one unearned run, and it was 2-0. We had base runners the whole game. We just couldn't get that hit. We didn't execute a bunt, here or there that we needed, and it's just a process. We're trying to get our, just like tonight, we missed a handful of bunts, and that probably helps us if we can get them down. We got to be better with that. So
yeah, so you just didn't get the clutch hit there in that game against East. But
correct.
Let's see, the first time we had you on was after the Cosville game. You were en route home, by the way. That was a 10-5 loss. That was during that period. You were just, first of all, glad to play a game. Then you had some daylight in between games again. But who you think who's the best squad you faced? Is it Nashville or East, or that win over Highland?
Yeah, Bevel East. Is probably going to be. We didn't see their best pitcher. If she throws in that game, I don't think it's any more than a 2-0. Their best pitcher is phenomenal. So they went to the Super Sectional last year, and if we make it to if we play in the state championship game in 2A, East is probably still better than anybody we're going to play the rest of the year. So they're really good. I was proud of our girls. They really played well against Bevel East. It's always fun to play there too. It's a lot of history at Bevel East. They've won multiple state championships in the big schools through the years, and it's just pretty fun to play there.
But you've got a couple of real nice hurlers as well here, and the hitting, man. Some explosions. There are several kids up at near the 500 mark or above, at least topping 400. So a lot of power too. Yep.
Our key is, just like we talked about before, is just staying consistent, and we get the big hit. If we could get that hit against Belleville East, we win that game. And then sometimes the wind was blowing out at Nashville about the same way it was blowing in tonight. So if we could have swung them a little bit better there, we'd probably in the game. So we're in the game. We're going to be fine, I think. We just keep playing. We got O'Fallon tomorrow, and that'll be a big one for us. We need to get that one too. So it'll be tough competition.
Back at it there. Yeah, 500 before tonight. 500. Now they dipped a little tonight, but 500, 545, 542. Just scanning through at least I think 10 home runs. As I look at the board here quickly, Haley has 4, and Abby Brommeyer 3, and Beckman with 3 too, and so that's dangerous there. And the defense, I take, is clicking a little better with a little more time on that dirt and turf.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, our like I said, having a set infield this year where we've kind of struggled with that the past few years. We've had piecing kids in that. Asking them, can you play there? And they tell us, yeah. And then, but it's not smooth. We're in a lot better shape with kids playing natural, normal positions for them this year. So that helps us a lot.
By the way, I have to give a little holler here for Abby Brandt, because I see she's hitting 1,000. How about
Abby's
that? 2 out of 2, right?
2 for 2. Yep. She got a crack up at Mulberry when we played up there, and came up and hit a couple balls hard for us and scored a couple runs. Yeah, Ab's doing well.
Now, is she and or others getting some time on the mound in some JV games?
Yeah, they played at Central tonight in JV, and I know Abby was going to start down there. She's getting most, she gets a lot of time in the JV, so and she travels with us when they're not playing for varsity because she's consistent. So she's got a bright future for us, I think.
But and of course, varsity always takes precedence. But the junior varsity is getting some games in this season too.
Yes, yep, they are.
Okay, so what's up ahead again? You say, Mike? O'Fallon?
We have O'Fallon tomorrow. And then I believe Monday we're at Centralia, and we have Triad next week in a makeup also. So our schedules, Centralia's got great pitching, and I know Triad has a real strong team. They beat Edwardsville earlier this year, so that'll be a test for sure.
So the Orphan Annies they've rebounded a little bit, huh? I see some of their scores. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice test for you again too.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be good. We'll see a good picture for sure against them.
Okay, Mike. Well, appreciate your time, and congrats. Send congrats to Haley for me, whole team. But it's, I mean, a no-hitter now. That's pretty special. That was her first, right? That was her first.
Yep. Yeah. First in high school for sure.
Yeah. Chances are she'll probably add on another one or two or three. Who knows? But,
well, we could be lucky if she does.
But good for you and the Lady Knights and Central, two good teams going on in Breeze again. So yeah, and I tell you, wow, the playoffs, they're nearing. They're coming. They're closing in, Mike.
Yeah, it won't be long. It won't be long for sure.
All right, we'll see you. Thanks.
All right, thanks, Rip.
That's Mike Palm. Our thanks to him, and also to Lance Dascott. And Saturday morning again, a coach or two. Plus, looks like we're going to have. It depends on what happens at Busch Stadium when he can enter the locker room, the clubhouses and stuff. But Rob Raines is figuring on being on now, and nobody knows St. Louis Cardinals baseball any better than this guy, that's for sure. Trivia too, all of that. Thanks for listening. We'll see you Saturday morning between 9 and 10 Talking Sports. Real Sports Talk on Max 96.7 Wcxo.
Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7 was powered by Hoffman Supermarket, the only choice for quality meats and friendly service. Talkin' Sports was brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan and Centralia. Kaskaskia College, the future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City and Hoyleton. Diane Chevrolet in Trenton. McKendree University in Lebanon, Ideal Home Solutions in Trenton, Farmer State Bank Insurance Department in Hoffman, Seaver Brothers in Carlisle, and by Becker Jewelers with locations in Breeze and Highland and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Thank you for joining us for this WCXO sports presentation of Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7.